You know, talent is a really great thing, and I was blessed to be given talent in certain areas, like we all are. Everyone has talent in one area of the other, but talent becomes um, a bit of an albatross when it's not matched with hustle. And I, in the past, had frequently tried to coast on talent without putting the work in. And then once I got sober, um, I just was like, I felt like I'd wasted so much time that I had to play catch up. And I was like a man on fire. I just had so much that I wanted to do. And then when my wife and I came into each other's lives, she's very much the same way. And it's like twin flames. I mean, just, she's always a catalyst for igniting me to do more. And I think I am for her. And we just managed to have fun doing it the whole time.
When you have somebody that's side by side companion, somebody that you love and loves your back, and you're rooting for one another and you're on the same team, and you lift each other up on the
Yeah.
days when one is down and you root for
Oh,
the other
boy.
one, when there's nothing better, right?
There's nothing better. And, I used to very much go at things alone. I mean, I was a guy that came out to Hollywood in 1987 as a young kid. I didn't really know too many people and didn't know anybody in the business and had to knock on doors and get them slammed in my face. And I just figured, okay, that's it. I'm a one man show. But then, um, when I met Michelle, I realized that I was much more formidable being part of this partnership than going at it alone. And so much of the stuff that I've been able to achieve would not have been achieved without her. And and I like it. It's you mentioned about am I cloned, and I was joking that I would love to clone myself, but I have the next best thing. I mean, I have a partner who's you know better and smarter than I am in a lot of things, and I'm very fortunate to have her in my corner, and I'm in her corner, and it allows us to do some pretty interesting things.
What's a typical day like for you? Like, even when we were prepping for
Mm,
the show, your phone was ringing, emails and texts were coming in.
yeah.
You're always in demand. You always have a lot juggling. How do you juggle it all? And what is a typical Sean Kanan day like, if there is a
So
typical one?
it depends if I'm filming or not. If I'm at the studio, then the day tends to have a fair amount of structure to it. I show up at the studio, I get makeup, I get hair, get in my wardrobe, rehearse with my fellow actors. It's a pretty um, structured day. My days when I'm not filming tend to be busier, believe it or not. Um, right now, a lot of what I'm doing is, finalizing financing agreements for this upcoming film. We're planning on having a location scout sometime next week in Chicago. So we're planning that. Michelle has been sequestered in her office for the past 3 days on a writing project that she's involved with. So I've kind of been on my own around our place, making the meals for her and everything. I work out a lot with my trainer because I'm prepping, for this film. My relaxation, I study Mandarin and I study Italian, and people are like, "Really? That's your relaxation?" But Mandarin is so hard that you can't really think of anything else but that while you're doing it, and so it allows me to kinda laser focus and shut everything else out. And, I also am known to play a little Xbox, so, I definitely managed to have some fun. I know it seems like I'm just nonstop grind, 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 and I am, but I was before doing your show today, I was literally playing Xbox and
Yeah.
rolling calls at the same
Oh,
time,
yeah.
So, I definitely and I read a lot. I like to read, so I read. I'm weird. I read, like, several books at the same time, and, my life is pretty normal. I always say that my life must be a lot like what a police officer's is like, and by that I mean,
Mhm.
it's probably fairly mundane most of the time, interspersed with some moments of extreme excitement. You know what
Hmm.
I mean?
Right, exactly.
I always joke with people like, you want to see how glamorous Hollywood is? Come watch what I got to do today. But then every now and then I get to do something that really is, kind of fun and glitzy and everything like that. Um, but for the most part, Michelle and I have a pretty normal existence. We like to see our kids and family as often as we can. Spend time together. I think we try and live a pretty down to earth life.
You get a chance to get away at all? Because I know you guys are so busy, some travel, just go up in the mountains, go to the ocean, go other parts of
Um,
the country.
yeah, we have a place in Italy, so we get to Italy a couple times a year, which is lovely. Um, I travel a lot for work. Doing comic cons and going on location to shoot and stuff, and I do my best to always bring Michelle with me. We're not always able to do that, but it's kind of an unwritten rule with us that we do our best to stay together as much as we can. Um, and we do try and take a vacation at least once a year, and every time we've taken a vacation and had fun and kind of recharged our batteries, we've come back and been able to undertake some new big project. Um, from kind of a place of being relaxed and, you know, uh, change our latitude for a while and then come back reinvigorated.
That's the best, to take time to be able to do that,
You
and
have
even,
to.
yeah, right, and even connect with each other on a deeper level too, where all of the
Yeah.
noise is shut
You know,
off
it's
for a
it's
while.
it's it it's it would be very easy for us to lull into kind of forgetting that we're, romantic partners and just getting caught up in business and all that stuff. And so we both work hard. And sometimes it's Michelle kind of dragging me back over the line and saying, "Hey, this is what we got to balance out here, husband and wife."
Mhm.
Sometimes it's me, but we both are very committed to that, and that's what allows us to keep a balance.
You've been a part of our lives for such a long time, going all the way back to that whole Karate Kid franchise. You and of course Ralph Macchio, who we've seen recently, on various shows and in conversations. And
Yeah.
I got a chance to see him in a play he was in not that
Was that?
long ago, and
Oh,
he a Long
I was gonna
Island
say.
kid too.
I remember he did years ago. He did a play called Cuba and His Teddy Bear with Robert
Yes,
De Niro.
he
That was
did
a
that.
long time
That
ago.
was a
Long
long time
time
ago.
ago.
This was maybe about 7 years ago. Small little play in the city, and
I
he
love that he
came.
does theater like that. I
Yeah,
mean, I love
he still
that.
does.
That's
Yeah,
somebody who really loves acting.
he
I
does.
would do
Right.
that too.